Hey guys, Kristin Kramer from Pink Zebra's Team Dazzle here, and it's time to take another look at Pink Zebra's career plan. Now we've already taken a look at a few steps in the process. We've taken a look at executive consultant, at manager, and at senior manager. So today we're going to take a look at the next step in the career plan, and that is executive manager. Now, executive manager is the last promotion before you get those director's boots. Now, if you're like me, you are really focused on those director's boots because how beautiful are those? And who doesn't want a trip to home office? There are all kinds of great perks that come with director. But that does not mean that this is not an amazing promotion. This is such a great level to reach. So let's take a look right now at the requirements of promoting to executive manager. Now, some of these are pretty basic, of course. Number one is the same thing for every single level of leadership, and that is bonus qualified with $400 in sales volume in the month. That's something that you try to reach for every single month as a leader, because that's when all of your bonuses and your commissions on your downline take effect. So $400 a month, that's something to shoot for every single month. Now, let's take a look at the team that you need to build in order to become an executive manager. Now, once again, you can find this leadership map in the back office. And this kind of just tells you all of the things that you need to have in place in your team in order to promote to executive manager. And I highly recommend, as you're working up toward these levels of leadership, that you print these out, fill them out, and keep an eye on them as you're growing. Now, in your team, in order to make executive manager, you need 3 different legs in leadership. You need one team member in your level 1 who is at least a senior manager or higher. And you need 2 more leaders on your team who are at least managers and higher. So that's the 3 legs that you'll need to have in your level 1 to promote to executive manager. And of course, there's also your team volume. So once again, you need to have your qualifying volume for 2 months in a row. So for instance, if you're planning on promoting again in November, then in October, you need to have a group volume of $30,000 in place. And then in November, you'll have to have that $30,000 in group volume again, and you'll have all of the other things in place in order to get your promotion. And of course, once again, the 40% rule is in effect here. So that means that none of the levels or none of the legs on your team have more than 40% of the total group volume. And once they are, it'll all even out in your numbers in the back office. So those are the things that are required in order to promote to executive manager. But of course, there are usually some little differences in what it takes to maintain your pay rank instead of just your requirements to promote to pay rank. And of course, they're usually a little bit easier to maintain than it is to get to that point. So once again, in order to maintain your pay rank as an executive manager, you need to be bonus qualified with $400 in sales volume in the month, of course. So when you look at your team, there are some differences here. Now, in your team, you need to have 4 active consultants in your level 1, and 2 of these have to be personally enrolled by you. And also, 2 of these people in your level 1 need to be executive consultants or higher. So that's a pretty big difference, right? From a senior manager and 2 managers to at least 2 executive consultants or higher. So that's a really easy part of the plan to maintain. And as for your group volume, you need to have $15,000 in group volume each month with the 40% rule in effect in order to maintain your role as executive manager. So now let's talk about the fun stuff. Let's talk about the perks of being an executive manager. Now, we all think about the boots and the things like that of a director, but your perks as executive manager are pretty awesome. Because first, let's talk about money, right? Because that is a big part of each step in the career plan. Now, once again, you'll get paid at 4 levels of your downline. So that's 4 levels under you that you'll be getting commission off them. But you also get a 2% bonus on your team. So that means you'll be making an extra 2% on all of those people in your team. And that could add up to a lot of money. So that's pretty awesome. And of course, there's always bling involved too. So at executive manager, you earn a paisley bracelet. So that's a pretty silver bracelet with a little paisley on it, just like the one that comes with your manager necklace. It's really pretty. And then there are all kinds of other perks. For instance, at Reunion, not only is your reunion fee paid, but you get to do an early product reveal. So while everybody else is waiting to see all the new products for fall, you get to go and see them early. And that is a pretty awesome perk, don't you think? So there are all kinds of great things involved in this step in the career plan. So make sure you download your leadership maps and start building that team and working your way through. If you have any questions about this, feel free to drop me a line, and you can visit me at dazzlesense.com. Until next time, sprinkle on.